everyone. Hello. Happy Tuesday if you're watching this live. Happy every day if you're watching it any other day. My name is Dr. Terry Alford, and I am known as the Women's Wealth Strategist. I am here with none other than Constance Daniels, who is the owner and founder of Victory Financial Services. How are you, Constance?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm so excited to have you today. And thank you so much for being a bronze sponsor of the Attract Abundance Conference. We cannot wait to hear from you. And we definitely can't wait to hear your expertise in how to avoid tax mess. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are talking about how to avoid the tax mess that no one else wants to speak about. So go ahead and grab your notebook, grab your pen. If you have questions, put it in the comment section. If you hear something that's inspirational, educational, or motivational, type those words in the comment section. Now, I've had the opportunity and the honor to work with Constance closely, so I can tell you a lot about her, but I'm going to read her bio because I want her to hear how much of a superstar she is. Are you ready, Constance?
Let's go.
All right. Constance Daniels is an entrepreneur and mentor passionate about helping tax professionals and financial service providers scale their businesses and serve clients with excellence. As the CEO of Victory Tax Software and Victory Financial and Tax Services, she built platforms that combine cutting-edge technology, mentorship, and compliance training to empower professionals at every stage of their journey. Through Victory, she provides tools, mentorship, and support that help tax pros grow from beginners to successful business owners. On the financial side, she guides families and business owners to build wealth, protect legacies, and create retirement strategies using tax advantage solutions such as IULs, SEP IRAs, and annuities. Her mission is to empower both professionals and clients to achieve freedom, growth, and lasting impact. I present to others and I introduce to some Constance Daniels. How is that? How is that? I don't have my
Thank you.
Thank you. I don't have my pom-pom here because I'm in Arizona this week. But listen, I am so happy to have you here. So I'm just going to do a dance because Constance here. So Constance, tell us more about how you got into the work that you're doing now.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So I actually started off doing taxes at a very, very young age. My father taught me how to do taxes when I was very young by paper. Did not think it was going to be my calling or walk in life. I actually thought I was going into a totally different profession. But of course, that's how God works sometimes, right? And so as I got older, I took a position as a manager at another company. And I ran that company and turned it into a multi-million-dollar company when it first opened. And then after a couple of years, I branched out and did my own thing. Yep.
Good. That's awesome.
I got going.
That's awesome. Tell us what that transition was like to build a company to multiple millions of dollars and then say, okay, it's time for me to go out on my own and take a leap of faith and bet on myself. Tell us what that transition was like.
In all honesty and transparency, it was really hard. There was a lot of battles I had to fight along the way. Of course, there was a lot of things that I did not know that I thought I knew when I first started, and I had to learn those things as I went on. But just transitioning from being someone's employee to being a business owner, no matter what type of business it was, that transition in itself was a lot, right? And I thought I was ready for it, but like I said, it was a lot. I took on a lot at that time. It took me a couple years to honestly get my foot in and to go back and correct mistakes I made in the beginning because of the things I don't know. And that's what happens with a lot of business owners, Terry. We do the research. We try to make sure we got all our ducks in a row before we step out into it. and there's still so much we just do not know. That's what happens with taxes a lot of times. Like, that's not the thing people think of when they start the business, right? And that's kind of even what happened with me. Like, I was just ready to go and pour it out, and there were things that were happening on the back end services for the business. Even though I was running that company, I wasn't running the back end, right? And so there was a lot of things that were happening that I didn't realize were going to be an actual issue. But they became issues, but God made a way for me to overcome each and every one of them.
Yes, well, good. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for being transparent. And this is a safe space, but it's live in front of everybody. But this is a safe space because my community.
We very live. We very
right, yeah, we live for real. We see somebody in the comment section saying hello on YouTube. We are live now on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. And so the one thing about the people who watch these videos, they watch the replays, they're looking for inspiration, they're looking for motivation, they're looking for education, and they're looking for insight to see what is it that they should be preparing for in this season of their life. So I know that you have worked with millionaires, you've worked with entrepreneurs, you work with wantrepreneurs, people who are wanting to start their business. So share with us, what are some things that we should be doing right now? Yes, what are some things that we should be doing right now in this season? It is August. It's not the beginning of the year. It's not the end of the year. It's not April. But what are some things that we should be doing right now as business owners as we are preparing for the next tax season?
So can you repeat that for me, Terry? I'm sorry. I'm having some technical difficulties, I swear.
Okay, no problem, no problem.
What are some things as business owners that we should be doing right now?
Yes, I think there's a little lag. So I said it's August right now. Okay. It's August right now. So right now, as we're recording this video, you have people who are not doing anything as it pertains to taxes, because it's not the beginning of the year, it's not the end of the year, it's not April. So right now in August, September, October, what should we be doing as business owners as it pertains to our business and our tax prep?
Right. So this is a good, very, very good time to utilize this time for tax planning before we go into the last quarter of the year, right? A lot of times people want to look at that last quarter as a tax plan, but that's not time to plan. This is a very good time to sit down with your accountant or your tax professional, your financial professional, and come up with a plan, first and foremost, for next year, right? Because we have the plan for the year prior to the year. But in preparation for your taxes, make sure your books are in order. Y'all know I'm going to preach that till the wheels fall off. Make sure your books are in order. If they're not in order, now's the time to get them in order, not December. Okay. Get those books in order. Make sure your filings are up to date, things of that nature. Do everything you can to make sure the back of your house is in order at this time. Don't wait till the last minute. The books is really the biggest thing. If you feel like, hey, my books are in order, I have that up to par, I have a bookkeeper, I have my books together, then definitely other aspects and other areas of your business. Do you have a tax plan? How did your tax plan from last year work for this year, right? Are there things you need to restructure? Do we need to look at possibly restructuring your business? Things of that nature that are going to be able to help you save more in taxes and things of that nature.
Oh, good. I like how you spoke about restructuring. And sometimes people will think, oh, someone said great mentor, she's humble. We'll speak about her mentorship in a moment. But there are a lot of people who say, oh, well, you should have your company set up as a LLC, or maybe it should be an S Corp. Like, how does someone know if they should restructure their company to help them with taxes? And then how do they know who to listen to? Because you have all this information on social media and everybody want to be an expert nowadays. So how do a business owner know which direction to go in?
Listen to a professional, and not just anyone who claims to be a professional on social media, you guys. I mean, someone, your professional, the person you've chosen to trust your finances and your books and your business to, and sit down with them. That person, now I'm actually on Gusto's advisory board, so we have a cool tool, advisory tool that we utilize, but that person should have something or some way of showing you what the difference is, what's the tax tax implications if you remain an LLC, what it's going to be like, or how much you would be saving as an S corp. What other expenses? And this is where people miss it. What other expenses are you going to take on becoming an S corp? You cannot just assume that S corp is the answer for you. There's a lot of expenses that come with S corp that a lot of people miss. But sitting down with an actual professional and doing a comparison of the two for you in your business is what needs to be done in order to make that decision.
I love that. I love that. So you spoke about additional expenses that are incurred when you do change to an S corp. So let's speak about expenses in general, because we have business owners that want to scale their business, right? They want to grow their business to 7 figures, 8 figures, 9 figures, and they're thinking about the revenue, but not always thinking about the expenses. So tell us some of the expenses that you see that business owners incur that they may not have to incur, or what are some expenses that we do incur that should be taxable, I guess you would say tax write-offs, that would be beneficial for us to incur those if we are a business owner, because we are going to be able to write off those expenses. Did I ask that question correctly? Yeah, Terry, you did. Yeah, that's how I want to ask it.
I think I got the gist of what you're asking. So you're fine. So no, like first and foremost, let me say this. According to the Internal Revenue Service, a business expense must be two things. It must be ordinary and it must be necessary. That's the first thing. And a lot of people get that confused in thinking that what's a business expense for you can also be a business expense for them. So the Internal Revenue Service is looking at two things. Is it ordinary, meaning is it ordinary for this type of business to have this type of expense? And then is it necessary? Is it necessary for this business to do this in order to actually run and operate? So that's one of the first things. I see a lot of people miss out on a lot of business expenses in a sense of they're not categorizing things correctly, or they're not utilizing their business accounts and things like that correctly. Sometimes people are looking at what another business owner can utilize as a business expense and thinking that, hey, that'll apply for me. Somebody say, I wrote my car off, and now you're trying to write your car off, but you're babysitting, or you're running a hair salon, and what are you using your car for again, right? Like, those are things that you have to be mindful of. Like, what I can write off, you can't write off. It's going to be contingent upon what type of business you have. And that's why a professional is very, very important, that you have an understanding of what's a business expense and what's not prior to you operating that business, right? Because if you go to Walmart and every time you go to Walmart, somebody told you, hey, you can write that off, and then you receive an audit from the Internal Revenue Service and they say, no, you can't write any of that off. And it's because someone misspoke, misinformed you, or maybe it was a write-off for them, but it wasn't necessarily one for you. And that's going to be, like I said, contingent upon what type of business you have, how you're operating. It could be the same type of business, but you guys operate in different capacities. Maybe you're mobile. Maybe I have a brick and mortar. So therefore, we got two totally different lists of business expenses for the most part.
Right. So there's not a one size fit all solution. You know, when I do my presentations,
No.
I say insurance is like tacos. You got to tell me what you want on your taco. You want corn? You want flour? You're vegetarian? What do you want on your taco? It's not a one size fit all solution. With the annuities, not a one size fit all solution. Thick crust, thin crust. What kind of pizza do you want? What works for some is not going to work for you. So what I'm hearing is, with the tax side of things and the tax planning, there's not a one size fit all solution. So you can't just say, oh, no, well, it worked well for her, so it's going to work well for me, because it could be more costly or it could get you in trouble. Is that what I heard?
That is exactly what you heard.
Okay,
Definitely.
Okay. Yes. So speaking of getting in trouble, Lord, I don't want anybody that's listening to this live to get in trouble. But there's some people that get into trouble, right? So this is about the tax mess that nobody talks about. So tell us, what is one misconception or one misunderstanding that business owners have that gets them into tax trouble, or that gets them into a tax mess that you may have to clean up later?
Well, one is you can file and pay when you're ready. That's the biggest miss, honestly. Like a lot of people take it upon themselves, or not understanding what their deadlines are and when their deadlines are, or how taxes work. But if I had to narrow that down to one thing, I'm going to say those estimated tax payments, Terry. Honestly, a lot of business owners get into business. And like I said, especially if they're fresh in business, they've never made estimated tax payments. I've even had business owners that have been in business 10, 15 years and never made an estimated tax payment. I'm not trying to get nobody in trouble on live. But that's the truth. Like, a lot of people start running their business, they're thinking, okay, let me just file by April 15th. Or if they're an S Corp and you do tell them, like, hey, no, you do March 15th. And they're like, okay, well, let me file by March 15th. But a lot of LLC owners, they don't understand that you have to make those estimated payments. That's the biggest problem that I see. And then they end up with this huge tax bill at the end of the year. Or they have no problem paying their tax bill, but then they get a letter later on from the Internal Revenue Service saying, yeah, but you didn't pay your penalties. We're penalizing you for not making those estimated payments. But if you don't sit down and you don't plan and you don't do things of that nature, you won't even know what your estimated payments are. But that's what I'm going to say is the biggest thing.
Okay, so why should someone get an expert to help them avoid that type of tax mess instead of doing it themselves?
Because now when we're talking about a sense of business owners, people lose their business behind taxes all the time. People have to shut their businesses down. They've cried, they've done the praying, they've done the work, they overcome all the obstacles that were placed in front of them. And this is that thing that I like to say the enemy keeps on the back burner to try to take your business out if you're not informed, if you're not educated, or you just don't want to pay a professional, so you figure you'll do it yourself type thing. And then there's all these things out here that you didn't realize later that come back and haunt people. And I see it all the time. And it becomes a vicious cycle. And that's what people don't understand about taxes. Taxes don't pause. They don't stop while you're running your business for you to get caught up or for you to get it together. They don't. So if you end up with a $30,000 tax bill out of the blue while you're trying to take care of that bill from last year that you didn't prepare for, you didn't plan for it financially, you didn't plan for it at all. And now you're trying to take care of that bill and you're creating another one while you're creating more income, right? And then it becomes a vicious cycle.
Say that again. That one hurts right there. You're creating another bill while you're creating more income. That's what she said. So what you said was, in the midst of you already owing, you're making more money, but then you're also creating a bigger bill because the more money you make, the bigger your bill is about to be. Ooh, that hurt.
Yep.
That hurt. But it's real.
Yep.
It's so
and that's
real.
A lot of times where I see business owners, after a few years, they're well over six figures. And they're like, I don't even make this type of money, but yes, you do. Especially LLCs, if they haven't structured themselves correctly, they haven't sat down with a professional and see if they need to become an S Corp and payroll themselves so we can save on some taxation. They haven't gotten with someone awesome like yourself or with me to see what IULs or SEP IRAs or things that, well, not an IUL, but there are some tax advantages for IULs, but SEP IRAs or things like that could do to help reduce their tax liability. They're not looking at other ways to reduce their taxation. Then they actually get caught up in just that cycle, Terry. And it's really sad because when they try to pull themselves out of it, it's like 37% in taxes, up to, depending on what they make, for an LLC owner who hasn't taken the time to slow down and pay attention to the tax implications and things of that nature. And they get caught up in that. And people lose their businesses. They literally have to shut down and try to figure out life again. And it's overwhelming, to be honest. So when that happens, we just have to step in and do the best we can to get penalties removed and work out payment arrangements, reduce debt. Sometimes we can go back in and look at the tax returns and save them money in that manner, by accounting for expenses they didn't account for, or maybe they didn't know they could even utilize before. We do everything we can to help them, but for the most part, planning, staying ahead of the IRS, and doing what you need to do is the way you stay afloat.
What I am hearing: decrease your expenses and make sure you don't spend everything so that you can make sure that you pay the main things. Thank you for sharing that. This is the conversations this is an example of the types of conversations that we have at the Attract Abundance Conference. Okay, because we're talking about attracting abundance. We bring in the money, right? But what do we do with the money that we have? We don't want our businesses to cause us not to be able to take care of ourselves, physically. That's why there's a health component this year. But we also want to make sure that we're planning for the unexpected. And that's not just planning for the unexpected of us getting sick or passing away, but planning for the unexpected of us getting audited or having to answer a lot of questions. It can be very overwhelming. So, speaking of that, I heard you speak about SEP IRAs and how SEP IRAs can help you. So, tell us what is a way that a business owner can get a SEP IRA and help them with which will help them with their I don't want to say wrong thing. I'm trying to be so right because I am not a tax professional. I tell people all the time, I'm not a tax professional, not an attorney. I don't play one on TV.
No, but you are a wealth strategist.
Right there, I'm a strategist, right? Yeah. So I want to say this the correct way. What is a way, or how do SEP IRAs help lower the tax implications, pressure, liabilities for business owners? I want to say it the right way.
Right. So anything that is actually put into a SEP IRA, now there are limits, okay, on how much you can actually put in that based off of what your net profit is. But based off of what you generate in your business, you can put up to $70,000 a year, depending on your situation. So that's why I say up to, okay, in a SEP IRA. And when you put that in that SEP IRA, that amount of money that you place into that SEP is going to be removed from the amount of income that the Internal Revenue determines to be taxable. What does that mean? That means you don't have to pay taxes on that money. It's going to lower your tax liability.
Love that. I like how you said it. I mean, I just want you to say it because some people may be like, say what? I need to get that from you. Do you have anybody that's coming to mind right now who you think may need a SEP IRA?
Business owners, all of them. All of them. Well, first and foremost, let me say this. Business owners, we don't have 401ks, right? Like we're not on someone's job. We don't have a retirement account, and we can't wait till we reach retirement age to start worrying about it, right? So first and foremost, getting that SEP IRA is going to create a retirement account for you. So you're not giving your money away. Your money is going to be making money while it's sitting where it's sitting. And guess what? You don't got to pay taxes on that money right now. Even by the time you retire, depending on when you take that money out, it's going to lower, probably based on the type of revenue you're generating and things you have going on in your life at that older age. It's going to lower the taxes you would pay on that money anyway, overall. But that is situational. Let me say that.
I love it. Well, here's the thing. I know you have a lot to share, and I don't want you to give all the goods on live.
No, they got to come to the conference.
And tonight at 6 p.m. Central Time, those of you who have a ticket to the conference, you can get on Zoom and ask Constance anything. We're doing a Q&A call, and this is a Q&A call for you to get to know her better. She'll get to know you better, and it really is a safe place to ask your questions because it will be a private Zoom only for the people who have a ticket to the Attract Abundance Conference. So you can go to attractabundanceconference.com, purchase a ticket, and then you get access to her training at 6 p.m. Central Time. And then I'm doing a training tonight at 7 p.m. Central Time. And the name of that training is Attracting Affluent Buyers. Now, some of you and clients, some of you know right now as I speak, I am sitting in the beautiful Phoenix, Arizona. And I know how to attract abundance all over the U.S., no matter where I go. So even though I came here to visit family, I have attracted abundance in this space. And let me tell you, they're affluent people. And so if you want to know some of the secrets to attract more affluent buyers, you want to be on that live tonight at 7. So Constance is going to be on at 6, and then you'll just stay on and spend time with me at 7, and then you can go attract an abundance of abundance before you come to the Attract Abundance Conference in October. Thank you for being a speaker. Thank you for being a sponsor this year for the Attract Abundance Conference. It is going to be the best one yet. Years 1 and 2 was incredible, but year 3 is about to be life-changing. So without us forgetting to say how people can find you, if people are looking to work with you, let's go ahead and do a call to action. Who is it that you want to work with in this season? How can people find you? And what do you offer for the people who are looking to be mentored by you? Because I heard mentorship in your bio quite a bit.
Okay. We broke up a little bit, but I think I got the gist of it. So pretty much, definitely, I am looking to work with small business owners, you guys. So definitely, if you are a small business owner and you don't have a financial professional, I didn't just say a tax professional, but I mean someone who can sit down with you, make sure your structure is correct, make sure your tax plan is in order, make sure your bookkeeping is together, make sure that weight is off of you. And go to victorytaxservices.com. Of course, that's Victory Tax Services with an S on the end.com. Click the link, book an appointment, let's sit down, let's have a chat, okay? And then also you said some more stuff, but you broke up, so I'm sorry. I did hear about the mentorship. I believe you were asking how do they go about the mentorship? Is that what you were asking?
What do you offer for someone
Yeah?
who's looking
Okay,
for
cool.
mentorship?
Right. So if you're looking for mentorship in the financial profession or in the tax industry, we offer full support. We offer training. We offer full support during the season, hands-on support. You don't have to already be a tax professional. We train from the ground up. Certifications, everything you can think of, you guys. It's a full package in a box. Just come and join us. You can also go to victorytaxservices.com, choose the link to schedule an onboarding call, and we'll get you going.
Perfect. Is there an investment that they need to be prepared to make to be a part of your mentorship program?
Is there an investment? I believe you said. So for tax professionals, the initial investment is $98 down, but it is a total investment of $690. That's all inclusive, you guys. So that's your business cards, your ink pens, your marketing, your training, your software, all inclusive. If you're looking to start your own tax business and you're already in the tax profession, we have packages starting as low as $11.99, with our platinum package being $24.99. And those packages are all inclusive. The platinum package is all inclusive. So it's a full business suite, landing page, custom domains, everything to get your business looking professional, training for you and your team. So you guys are knowledgeable. We have compliance. We have enrolled agents on staff, the full word. So you can also go to victorytaxservices.com, schedule an onboarding call, and we'll get you started.
Lovely. How many people do you mentor at one time?
Oh, geez. At one time, we do have group meetings, but I also do like the one-on-one. So with our platinum and our middle package, you do get the one-on-one mentorship, but we do have group meetings as well. So inclusively for tax professionals, we're looking at about 58 people right now.
Okay, 58. That's good. You better with your 58 people. Is there a limit? Are you stopping it at a certain number? Are you saying, okay, we got 58, we're going to 75 this season and that's it? Oh, okay. So unlimited.
No, but we do have a great staff. We do have a great team. We have other people that I have personally mentored that mentor as well. And with that being said, you may not get me directly once we hit a certain number. I mean, I only mentor so many people directly, but we have a staff, so you will get the same mentorship, you get the same training, the biblical foundations, all of that.
Lovely. Ooh, you snuck that in there. Now, see, we got to get off the live. We can't get everything. But I thank you so much for being here. You all, if you are looking for Constance, you can send her a direct message. There will be links in the comment section of this video. If you're watching the replay, type #replay. If you found this video to be inspirational, motivational, or educational, put that in the comment section. Or you could just say, this is good. Right? This is good. If you know someone needs to see this video, share it with them as well. I thank you all so much for watching this live. And we spoke about a few of the tax messes that nobody wants to talk about. And we're going to speak more tonight on more tax messes no one wants to talk about, but also every entrepreneur should prepare before the year ends in order to have the best tax situation possible. So thanks again, Constance. Have a beautiful week, and I'll see you in a few hours.
See you then. Y'all have a blessed one. Thank you.
Bye-bye.